Hello everyone, Jester Tester is back. This time, we're going to be installing a new G sensor in the Attack from Mars pinball table and see if it will repair that ghost nudging issue. Now here we are, guys. Now my name is Jesse and I want to thank you for stopping by and supporting the channel. I would kindly ask if you could give me a thumbs up on the video for taking the time to create it for you. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so I can keep bringing you even more content. All right, guys. Now I reached out to Arcade1up and I told them about this problem and they were kind enough to rush me out a brand new G sensor to see if that's going to take care of this ghost nudging issue. So we're going to install that for you right now, guys. All right, so let me get things set up. I got to take this thing apart and we'll get into it. So hang in there with us. All right, guys, in order to save time, I already took apart the sides of the cabinet and got this thing opened up. If you're not too sure about how to open one of these cabinets, all you have to do is unscrew the chrome trim from it, take the chrome trim off, and you just take your plexiglass off the top. You take that little board that's inside, that frame board that's over the monitor, take that out. Then there's 4 screws on the top of the this lift-up board here. And then you're able to lift this whole thing up, all right? Now, in here, this is where the accelerometer originally went. I had already disconnected this and taken this out because I couldn't play the machine with the old one in, so I had removed that already. So that's already gone. So let's open this up, and let's take a look at the new one that they sent. All right. Okay, so this is how they sent it. They wrapped this up good. Let's see here. Well, they protected it really good. Want to be careful because there's tiny little chips on this thing. I mean, this thing is extremely fragile. And you can see here, I don't know if anybody has seen it on the video, but on their video, they show where they have basically a piece of material like this or a piece of foam that they put down on the bottom of the cabinet and they lay this on top of it. But I guess that was here. If you look on the bottom of this here, there's a tiny little chip here with, and also the soldered areas here. And I guess that was to protect it from crushing down into the bottom of the cabinet. So what they did here, if you could see that, they cut a relief hole down there. So I guess they did away with that idea and they allowed the hole in the bottom of the cabinet to be able to accept the chips and all that. So, all right, so let's put this in. Now they wanted the cabinet leveled. So we went ahead and did that. And I'll show you that in a second. So when you level the cabinet, you got to make sure you level it and look at it from inside, because so it's level left to right. And I don't know if you can see that from there, but it is level from front to back. So like I said, I don't know if that really has anything to do with the accelerometer, but they ask you to level it. So that's what we did. All right, so let's put this in. And you definitely want to use a screwdriver on this thing, guys. You don't want to use a power drill with this because this chip or the sensor is so thin. It is wafer thin. You can actually wind up cracking this thing if you crank down too hard on it. I mean, they want it secured tightly to the bottom, but definitely don't tighten it down too hard. or else it will snap. All right, so that's good. We'll take our wire, make sure it's the right direction here. Plug that in. All right, nice and tight. Okay, so we're good with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut this all down, close it down, and then we'll come back and we'll run it through a diagnostic test and we'll see how we made out. Hang in there with us, guys. All right, guys, so what I did was I closed everything down. I closed this, but I kept the trim off right now just in case we have problems again and I do have to remove this sensor. So what they want you to do now is run through a diagnostic test, and how you go about doing that is they want you to press the right flipper in, hold that in. Then the launch button down here below the plunger, they want you to hold that in at the same time. Then this button, they want you to hold this button in and then turn it on. And hold everything, hold the buttons until it runs through your diagnostics. It takes a little while to get through to it. All right, so that's good. So I'm going to raise the camera up so you can see. So it says press launch to start testing. So that's what we're going to do. So then it's going to go through your color cycle. So as you keep hitting the launch button, you go through your colors. Blue. Every time you hit the launch button, you'll cycle through that. Then you'll cycle through your sound checks. Press launch to test the solenoid. Solenoid 2. That should be in the middle, which it is right now. And it goes back to the middle when I shake it, which that's good. Press launch, start test key. So now we hit the flipper left. Start and pause button. Table. As we're doing this, we'll shake the table, make sure that goes back. Press the launch button. Test the flipper right. Pull the volume to decrease. Now press volume to increase. Again, I'll shake it to make sure it goes back to the center and doesn't move. Pull the plunger down for testing. Release the plunger. So now it's saying all key tests successful. Wait for it. So now we had a successful test. But the thing is, guys, remember, like I said, we did this with the original one. And when you do the original one and you go through all that and you reset it, it does reset for a while. So here's my issue. Now I got to check this out for a while and see if this is going to crop back up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the table back together, okay? And I'm going to play it for a while. So we'll see if this actually fixed the ghost nudging, and then well, we'll come back and I'll let you know how we made out with it. So hang in there with us. All right, guys, so we're back. I buttoned up the whole machine here. All right, so let's get into a little bit of gameplay. Let's test this out. Let's shake it around. Let's go through the whole motions and see if this ghost nudging comes back now. Definitely not going to play Whitewater. I know that. Hurricane was one of the first tables that it showed up on me, so let's play that game. All right, here we go. All right, guys, before we get into this, as I said before, if you get anything from these videos, guys, really do me a favor and give me a thumbs up on the video, all right? And consider sharing the video around, because a lot of people might be having this problem. And maybe you could share the video around the different forums or whatever, to maybe this could help somebody else out, all right? All right, so let's get into this. Like I said, this was the first table that I noticed the ghost nudging. Let's just get the ball rolling a little bit here, and then we'll cradle the ball. I'm not going to bore you with my horrible pinball playing, but let's cradle the ball here. This is the exact flipper that it first started too. All right, so let's try the nudge out. All right, so the nudge is working. Let's hold it in the cradle position here for a second and see if the ghost nudging comes back. Doesn't look like it's doing it to me. I don't hear that echo that I was talking about in my last video. Seems like everything's pretty good right now. But like I said, even the older one, the original, when you reset everything, it did work for a little while, but after a couple hours, it did come back. So what I think I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to play this a little while, and then I'm actually going to cut the video, but I'm going to play for a couple hours, maybe even a day. And by the magic of recording, I'm going to come back after that I've played this table for at least a day, and then we'll check it out again and see. So let me just play a little bit more here, and then I will cut the recording, and the next time that you see it, it'll be maybe a day later. We'll do it at least a day later. So. And again, I just want to say this too. I want to thank Arcade1up, because they really did step up on the customer service on this. They did send that G sensor out extremely fast when I told them about the problem. So the customer service for this was absolutely incredible. So I do thank them for that. All right, so I don't hear any of the echoing. I don't see any of the issues. Let's back out of this. And we'll just go into the Mars, Attack from Mars, because this was another table that it did it on. Well, it did it on all of them, but these were the first two tables that it showed up on. So I just want to go through the same thing here. Try and cradle the ball here and see. Actually, let me nudge the table while it's moving. Nudge works pretty good there. All right, let's see if the ghost nudging appears here. All right, so right now it is looking like it's working very well, guys. All right, so what I'm going to do, so we can save time on the video here, I'm going to cut the video at this point, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play for quite a while. I'm going to run this through its tests, keep playing, keep this on for a few hours and see, and then the next part of the video you'll see will probably be maybe a day or two later. All right, guys? All right, so hang in there with us, guys. We'll be back. All right, guys, the magic of recording. We are 2 days later on this, and I've been playing this machine for quite some time. I've run it through its paces. I haven't had the ghost nudging show up. Let's try it one more time live on this video. I'm going to turn the machine on. We'll go through it again and see if it crops up while we're live on camera. So far, so good. It's been working pretty good, and I have used it quite a bit here. So let's take a look. Let's turn it on. Usually with the last chip, by now it would have shown itself. Like I said, it usually showed itself within an hour, 2 hours, at least a day. So we're almost 48 hours after the installation here. So let's take a look. Let's see. I guess let's go back to Hurricane. Like I said, that was the first table that it showed up on. So it's looking pretty good for the replacement chip right now. Let's see here. Let's just cradle this ball and see if we see any ghost nudging or anything. Ride the Hurricane. It's still looking good, guys. I nudged that, so I just want to see if it's going to do it itself now. Still looking good, guys. So it's looking promising. But I'm going to tell you this. I am going to keep an eye on this, and I will update this video as soon as if anything crops up and I see anything change from this, I will post a video immediately letting you know. But for right now, it looks like we're doing pretty good. So it looks like definitely the ghost nudging problem is in the G sensor, which we kind of thought it was in the first place. And it's looking pretty good on the replacement one right now. But I still am going to hold my doubts until I see for quite a while if it holds. And like I said, I will update it if there's any issues. That's looking good. I would know by now anyway, because like I said, there's a weird echo. Like you see when you nudge this, you'll hear, listen to the sound this makes when you nudge it. You hear that almost like a sound of the ball hitting and everything. Well, that's what you hear constantly, even when you don't see the ghost nudging. You keep hearing that sound, so you know right away that that's the G sensor is causing that issue. Even when you don't see the ghost nudging, you keep hearing that echo. But I'm not hearing that in any game. I'm not seeing the ghost nudging, so we're looking really good here. All right, guys, so I guess I will leave you with that at this point. And like I said, I will update this video if I do see any change. But right now, I am going to give it a thumbs up right now. It is looking like it is repaired, and that G sensor replacement did a good job. All right, so again, guys, thanks so much for stopping by and watching the video. I really do appreciate all your continued support. Jester Tester saying be well, happy gaming, guys, and until the next review, we will see you.